Hi, I'm Mike Sherman. This is a Thunder basketball update. I'm here with our Thunder beat writer Anthony Slater, and we're talking about Sam Presti's latest attempt, perhaps, to acquire a center. Anthony, this has happened before as trade deadlines have approached. Tyson Chandler was the guy they went after once. That didn't work out. Kendrick Perkins was the guy they got, and that did work out. 3 out of 4 years going to the conference finals and then to the NBA finals. Now there are reports that the Oklahoma City Thunder is trying to acquire Brook Lopez. What's the latest on that?
Yeah, and to do it, they'd have to, trade Perkins and his expiring contract to do it. But right now, it still just seems like it's in the serious talk type phase. Nothing final for sure yet. It sounds like the Nets. A lot of these leaks right now that are coming out about how serious these talks are, they're coming from the Nets side of things. So there's a possibility the Nets are getting there. They're getting closer to wanting this deal, but they want it out there for other potential suitors for Lopez. Like, hey, if you don't act now, he's going to be gone, because they have been in talks with a number of other teams. The Heat, Lakers, Charlotte was involved at one point. They've been shopping Lopez for weeks now. The Thunder have been probably the most serious suitor. But the thing is, for the Nets, it's going to be a salary dump, but they're thinking maybe they could get better pieces than what they're getting from the Thunder. But right now, OKC is clearly the front runner.
What are the pieces for Oklahoma City, and what other offers are out there for them?
Well, there was a talk with Miami, like a potential Birdman, Norris Cole type package, but the pieces that the Thunder are giving up right now would be Kendrick Perkins, and more than Kendrick Perkins, it's really just Kendrick Perkins' expiring salary, which is $9 million. It's the only way the deal can work financially, because you got to have at least somewhat even money. And Perks, he's off the book, so that's what appeals to the Nets. And then they're going to add Jeremy Lamb in it. Is kind of the talks. Jeremy Lamb, a younger piece that everyone kind of knows it hasn't really worked out well in Oklahoma City. Maybe a new home. I would assume the Nets view him as maybe if he can find his way, can be a piece down the road. And then maybe a filler or two, maybe a Perry Jones, maybe a Grant Jarrett, just to make the salaries kind of work. But those would be the main pieces.
Anthony, Barry Trammell's got a blog up on News OK right now in which he says that the talks for Brook Lopez signal a shift of emphasis for Oklahoma City. More focus on next year than this year. How do you read these trade talks?
In some ways that's right, because, you think about it. Brook Lopez is basically for sure going to, exercise that player option that's for about $17 million. So that basically caps you out next year. Reggie Jackson, essentially, you can basically say the Thunder are not going to sign him next year, because they won't even have the money to do it if they get Brook Lopez. But, I don't think that means they're giving up on this season. They're only 2 or 3 out behind the Suns. The Suns have a brutal schedule coming up. I think there's still a general belief within the Thunder that they can make the playoffs this year. And though he has that player option, though he has injury concerns, Brook Lopez does provide a clear offensive upgrade that the Thunder has not had at the center position really ever since being in Oklahoma City. So I think it's for the next 2 seasons, but this does just kind of hamstrung them financially. This is the team they will have moving forward.
Anthony, finally, the swap of centers. Brook Lopez, an offensive center, for Kendrick Perkins, a very defensive-minded center, a guy credited with establishing the defensive disposition of this team, something that was really sort of its benchmark. As we said, 3 trips to the conference finals in 4 years. What does that do for this team, and how does that change the equation?
I think on the surface, if you look at it, a center rotation of Brook Lopez starting, Steven Adams coming off the bench is probably just strictly from a basketball perspective better than Steven Adams starting and Kendrick Perkins coming off the bench. I think more than the defense, because I think you can make that up. Brook Lopez isn't a terrible defender, and Adams is becoming a better one. I think it's just the chemistry. Maybe it'll just be a week-long thing, but if they trade Kendrick Perkins, that may rock this locker room chemistry-wise. We've mentioned it in the last few weeks. He's kind of the adult in this locker room. He's a clear team leader, so I'm just going to be interesting to see how they handle it.
Thanks, Anthony. That's all for this Thunder update, but you can stay with the best coverage team every day at News OK and every morning in the Oklahoman.